one of the main thing was how to sort of document all of these things. We've talked about a lot of stuff, I know attorneys always love documenting, and every contract is 25 pages long. What's your sort of how do you view that, the whole process of documenting all of this and making sure you get it in writing with signature and
Yeah.
all of those things?
Yeah. Well, see, we have to keep ourselves busy, right?
That's right.
We have to watch out for our own interest, right? So if
Right.
I'm drafting a document and I make it very simple, where anyone can read it and understand it, then why would they come back to me and pay my hourly rate, right? So I have
Right.
to write a document, and I have to write a lengthy document, which first of all scares anyone who gets a document, gets scared. Am I really going to read this? And if I read,
Right.
am I really going to understand anything? No, you will not. Jokes apart. So yes, it's very important that you document everything. From and when I say everything, I really literally mean everything. Your discussions with your co-founder. You know, how much equity are you giving? What is the vesting? How is this equity going to vest? Uh, what happens if there's a change? If I leave, right?
Mhm.
Intellectual property that your team is creating for you, that has to come to the company. You have to have documents. You when you're talking to, you could, you could promise me, hey, Azad, I think I'll give you 25-30%. Okay. Now, is it going to be 25% or 30%?
Right.
Right. I go home and write an email to you, hey Dhaval, you and I spoke, and you said I'll give you up to 30%. See, it's
Right.
changed, right? And you never pay attention to that and say, yeah, you know what, I think that's fine. I don't mind. And then there's no discussion around, how will this 30% vest, or how will this 25% vest? What am I doing for the company? I work with you for a few months, and then I walk away.
Right.
I could just use that email and say, hey, you said you were going to give me 30% of the company. Where are my shares?
Right.
So, it's important that you, like I said, I'm going back to the point that I was making earlier, and I'm not saying that because I'm an attorney, but attorney, you need to have attorneys who understand this landscape well, who have been through these situations where you know it, we are all human beings, right? We day one, everything is hunky dory. You just love your partner. You have no problem with it. You think you're going to create the next unicorn, just the two of you. And six
Right.
months later, oh my God, I thought he's going to be giving me at least 10 hours a week. He's not even
Right.
answering my phone. I have to call him like 10 times before he picks my phone. Hey, he's not even responding to my emails. And this happens.
Right.
I go through this. Believe me when I say this. I go through these things on a pretty fairly regularly, right?
Right.
So things change. You thought you had the best partner, but the partner, he comes, he gets attracted by something else, right?
Right.
So he starts looking at something else, and so then you have to how what are you going to do if you're going to rely on your emails?
Yeah.
You're going to be in a dispute, and it's
Yeah.
not going to be a happy situation. So you need to document your equity issuances. Now you need to document your IP, right? Keep in mind, if I write a piece of code, if I'm writing a software, developing a software, I write a piece of code, the copyright in that code belongs to me, even if you're
Mhm.
paying me for that. Now I have
Right.
to assign it to you or to the company to make sure that the copyright belongs to the company, that the code belongs to the company. If
Right.
you haven't documented that, you paid me, thousands of dollars to write a piece of code, but you never documented that IP belongs to the company. I may go back. Good luck when you talk to your investors, and your investors tell you, "Hey, go get this developer to assign the IP." And then my antenna will go up. Hey, why has Dhaval, after 3 years, all of a sudden, why is he chasing me to
Right.
assign this code to him? Is he up to something? Or hey, He
Right.
also sent this email saying 30% equity he's going to give to me.
Right.
Is now the right time to talk to? You were talking to your
Yeah.
investors, you're in diligence with your investors, and here's this one guy you worked with for a few months who now wants 30% to sign that piece of
Right. Right.
document that you put before him. And these are
And now, yeah, there is value in the business. There's value in the
value
code. So
in the
now
business.
they'll come knocking.
Absolutely. So these things come back to haunt you. That's the reason why you should always document your discussions. Investors will do their diligence. If
Yep.
you are talking to an investor and the investors know it's a sophisticated investor, they will hire a law firm. There are a few things that they always want to look at. One is the cap table. They want to
Yep.
have a clean cap table. Okay.
Yep.
Second is they want to have clean IP ownership. Of course, there are other things that they, that also, they want to make sure that the company has been that you've been following the formalities of a corporation, right? I mean, you've had your board's been meeting and important decisions have been made by the board members, and
Yep.
that you properly documenting those things.
Right.
But cap table and IP, absolutely important.
Right.
Very important.
And emails don't work. You need to have an
Emails
attorney.
don't
You
work.
have that contract.
Emails don't work. And like I said, there are certain things that you can clean up later on, and certain things you just can't clean up later on. They are not in your hands. And cap table and IP are two things that are very difficult to clean up.
Right.
So yes, documenting everything and documenting it properly is absolutely necessary. And it brings value to the company, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and investors, or your potential acquirers, they're not going to want to see emails. They're going to want to see legal documents.
Yeah, I mean, if you're relying on emails, good luck talking to a sophisticated investor.
Right. Exactly. So.